Trade policy is climate policy, whether governments admit it or not. In today's world, national borders may look like lines on a map, but in practice they manifest themselves in the form of tariffs, import rules and strategies to protect domestic markets, and these choices can quietly change the direction of the planet's environment. That is precisely the starting point for a 2024 study published in the journal Humanities and Social Sciences. Communications written by Qiong Wang and colleagues, which notes how trade protectionism surged after the global financial crisis and intensified as COVID-19 triggered widespread trade restrictions. The paper asks, when the global economy becomes more protectionist, does the environment benefit or suffer even more? To answer this, the authors revisit a classic framework in environmental economics, the environmental Kuznets Curve, or EKC. The EKC proposes an inverted U relationship. As income increases, environmental pressures tend to worsen initially. Then after a turning point can improve as technology advances and regulations strengthen. What sets this study apart is its scale and design. The authors use global panel data for 147 countries from 1995 to 2018, and they do want to rely on a single metric of environmental damage. They analyze both carbon emissions and ecological footprints, which capture broader pressures on land and biologically productive ecosystems. Methodologically, they treat trade not as a simple, more is better variable, but as something that can change its effects after passing a certain threshold using a threshold panel regression framework with trade openness as the threshold variable and controls such as industrial structure, FDI, and globalization indices. So, what did they find? First, the EKC pattern is supported in their framework, but it is not uniform across all levels of development. The growth-environment relationship varies according to income groups. Second, and most relevant at present, trade protectionism generally has a negative impact on global environmental quality, and its effects are felt most acutely by low-income countries, in line with the logic of the pollution haven. Third, the effects of trade are not linear. For carbon emissions, the model identifies two key trade openness thresholds, NTRA equals 4.188,